Hello, it's me again. I've been doing a little bit of work on this homemade chassis for the Union Pacific gas turbine. I've done some mods to the nose to add some lighting in it because obviously it was just a shell, it didn't come with anything. The two little tiny headlights below were solid. I drilled them out and put some clear plastic in there and put a bulb behind there. I put some marker lights, whatever they are. They're green. You can see them right there. They're green. I hollowed out the bottom where the number boards are going to be. Right now there's just, there's clear plastic in there that is shaped with the contour of the front of the nose. They appear to be black right now because they're not lit up, but they're going to have the locomotive number on it. I got to put a couple more resistors in there to kill the how thick they are. So I drilled these out, and there's a little tiny clear piece of plastic in there. Same with the other one. And there is a green LED, very, very tiny, smaller than the head of a pin. There's actually two. There's red and a green. So when I put it in reverse, they'll light up red. Eventually I'm going to put DCC in this thing, so I'll be able to change the light. The top light's going to be a Mars light. It's actually not even on the track right here. Let me fix this. The top light's going to be a Mars. The bottom will be the headlight. Like I said, eventually I'm going to put a Soundtrack's Baldwin and Others DCC sound decoder because it has the sound for the turbine. Eventually I'm going to put that in there, but I just wanted to put some lighting in there. I painted some wipers on the windshield. They did a horrible job. I still haven't decided if I am going to change the trucks on this thing. Possibly to a different style that has more speed and less gearing. I don't know. To me, this thing should probably travel a little bit faster. Maybe not. Looks pretty good lit up. Like I said, the light boards need to be dimmed out a little bit. I'm going to add another resistor on there to tone that down, or maybe two resistors. I'll also be able to adjust the brightness with the decoder. So I worked on that during the Thanksgiving holiday. I like the fact that it lights up red when you going backwards. So it's like directional. So I've been working on that. And I also did a little bit of an experiment. This is a Roco chassis. It's actually the same chassis that is in that gas turbine. So what I'm going to do here, give me a second. Bear with me. All right, so this originally had a big giant motor in it. And what I did was I put a 5-pole motor in it. Doesn't have as much torque as some of the other motors, but it's okay. And it has more speed. Now this particular chassis is the same that is in the gas turbine. And then, of course, there are these ones. These particular ones here have 3 gears in here. The gears are bigger. There's more top speed. This is the chassis that's in my my Shark Nose, Pennsylvania. And what I did was on my Shark Nose, I stole the rims that had traction tires off of this chassis and just swapped them. Now you'll see that this one here actually has a traction tire, and I'm going to do a video really soon on how I made that happen, but I'll just explain it. I took this piece out. I'll actually do it right here. It doesn't really matter. Okay, see all the gears that are in there? So these things are slow as molasses with the original motor. So you'd have to use a motor with more RPM to get it to be as fast as like the gas turbine. With the original motor, the thing would barely move. Especially if you're planning on adding DCC, because you can use a, power command system that'll put 16, 18 volts into a motor. Once you add DCC, the motor is never going to see more than 14 volts. So they go quite slower. So anyway, what I've done with this particular, you'll see this here. All right, this rim did not originally have a traction tire in it. What I did was I pulled this rim off, this gear. I put this in a Dremel on the shaft, made sure it did not wobble at all, used a cutting wheel, and slowly chewed into this. And very, very carefully, so I would do it evenly. I applied the same amount of pressure, chewed into it, and made it so I could put a traction wheel on it. And then when I was done, I took a very, very small flathead screwdriver that fit in that groove, and slowly worked it in there while it was spinning to make sure it was flat, basically making a handheld lathe, and I grinded it out. The reason why I had to do that is because I stole the traction tires to put in one of the chassis, the traction rim. I stole these, swapped the gear, and I put it in one of these chassis because I wanted it to be faster. Because I knew it was going to add DCC, and the thing would be like a snail. So these particular ones originally did not come with traction tires, as you can see. So there's a way of fixing that. Now, as heavy as these things are, they will only pull about 10 freight cars. And if you're trying to go up a hill, it's never going to make it. So you really do need a traction. You need a traction rim. So I'm going to pop this back together, and I'll show you how much weight this thing can pull. Give me a second. All right, so we're back on the track now. Let me shut this other train off. And we'll run a lap here. What are we doing here? I'll get this off. There we go. All right, so there's 27 cars on there. Now, with all metal rims, no traction tires, no matter how much weight you put in this thing, you'll be lucky if you could pull 10, 15 cars. Never mind up a hill. And that's a 3.5% grade. Now, I wish I had another one that didn't have traction tires on there so I could show you how little of pulling power these things have without traction tires, but they're pretty crude. I mean, like I said, maybe 15 freight cars if you got all metal wheels on them. But this thing here pulls absolutely no problem. It'll probably pull 35 cars up that hill. So that's that. This is a project that I started to work on, test phase. I am going to put a different motor in it to see how much more torque I can get out of it. Maybe slow it down a little bit because it's pretty fast. So we'll see. This was the shell that originally came with it. It's a shark nose, Delaware and Hudson. I actually like this paint scheme, so I'm not gonna destroy the shell. I'm gonna keep it. And here's an update on my little Hudson locomotive there that I made. These are the two shells, remaining pieces that were to build that. That was the Challenger version of the Southern Pacific daylight paint scheme. Now, this particular unit has Riv Rossi chassis below it. So I had to make the same with this. Those are Riv Rossi wheels. This still is the same Bachmann garbage. What I did was I shaved it all down and I moved the holes forward, cut out the Riv Rossi a notch, put the pin in there with the little nut, and the coupling height didn't have to be changed. It will once I put a Katy coupler on there. But so that's the Riv Rossi. This was a Hudson tender. So, and I needed, last time I had this thing on the track, I had it Mickey Mouse with a wire. And you couldn't back the train up or anything like that. So I decided to straighten that out. I haven't tested it, but I'm sure it runs. And that's that. So next project is going to be, I have a couple projects. I'm going to turn this into another AV, what is it, 1206 from the movie Unstoppable. I had already done one of these and shipped it off to Canada to SMT mainline to Harrison in Canada because he was looking for one. So I decided I was going to build one for myself. So that's this project will be on the burner to and I'll do the same thing. I'll put a better motor in it. I will change a couple of these rims, the ones that have traction tires on there. I'll add some lead, and I will add more pickups because these only have pickups on one side for the front, and I believe one for the back. So I'll add pickups on on both sides so it won't die out when it goes over the frogs. So that'll be on my one of my to-do lists. I got this thing on eBay for like 13 bucks. It's used, it's old. I think it's really cool though. That's all I really can afford is to buy used stuff. To be honest with you, even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy anything new. I like old stuff that has a story behind it. You know, just kind of use your imagination and try to figure out who had that and what they might have used it for or where it was. It's a lot more interesting than buying stuff that's brand new. Plus, if it breaks, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, I'll keep you updated on the gas turbine, and once I get a decoder in there, I'll probably do another update. I don't know why this isn't working. Oh, my switch is wrong switch. So let me know what you think with the lighting on there, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and see you soon. Thank you for watching.